You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion. Delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, before we get into our intriguing content, I should tell you, our featured guest today and repeat offenders. Just for you, Sean. I got the music right here.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Sean and Kelly Malone. Welcome.
Hey,
Thank
Ron.
you.
How
Thanks
you
for
doing,
having us
sir?
back.
Glad to have you
Always
with
a
us.
pleasure.
And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Celebrations of the National Haiku Poetry Day. Yeah, no, thank you. What else? National Ellis Island Family History Day. That hits too close to home. We'll stay away from that one. National Crawfish Day. Where are you getting crawfish? I don't, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay, and having beaten anorexia, we'll stick with National Cheese Ball Day.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, good cheese balls, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and after having spent a few days last week in Paso Robles, a little cheese, a little wine, a little more wine, a little less cheese. Oh, well, I digress. Let's move right on. Oh, it's National Bat Day today also. Don't tell Anthony Fauci about that one. We'll have
Yeah.
another pandemic on our
Stop
hands.
eating bats.
There we go. Especially from a wet market.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure what a wet market means, but, it's just not a good thing to do. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 13 points right now. The NASDAQ is down 51. The S&P 500 is down 9. Oil down $1.43. It's not going to affect our gas prices. They're going to keep on going up, especially here in the formerly Golden State. $4.91.5 is the cost of gasoline.
Ow!
Ugh. I paid $4.99 for one car and $4.59 for the other over the weekend. Josh, you're okay though. $4.27 there in Vegas. Jody's at $4.54 in Colorado. Brittany's at $3.58. I'm sorry, Jody's at $4.55 in Arizona. Brittany's at $3.58 in Colorado. And we don't even want to talk about Lori. I mean, she's a great underwriter, and I'm very envious because she's paying $3.29 for a gallon of gasoline. $3.29. And all we get to do is watch the news here in Southern California. 5% interest rates. 5%. They're talking about 5 on the Fed funds rate. Or are they going to continue going higher? Did you hear some of the news the other day? Fed Governor Waller talk about
Such an idiot.
yes,
Such an idiot.
unbelievable.
Such an idiot.
The guy has no clue about what's going. That's enough. The guy has no clue about what's going on in the world right now. Unbelievable. So he's talking about you can't have a recession when you've got unemployment so low. Excuse me. Every recession we've had dating back to 1960 starts when unemployment is low. Can you look at a chart, please? Some economist, would you send this to him? Because obviously he's not watching Ron Siegel Radio. He also is not aware that real estate values, shelter costs are not going up 8% right now. Not happening. It hasn't happened for a while. That's why May 10th is still circled on our calendar in big bold. But the Fed's meeting May 2nd, so they're going to still increase the interest rates just because they are
Such an idiot.
exactly. Maybe if they get one of sign the front of a paycheck. It might help because they'll realize that everything is slowing down. We're going to talk about it in the Mortgage Minute in just a bit, but the Cass Freight Index, yeah, that's slowing down. The only thing that's not slowing down, interest on credit cards. Yeah, that's going up. The cost of car payments, I almost fell over this morning and hurt somebody, but I almost fell over when I heard that the cost of car payments, average cost of a car payment right now. I couldn't believe this one. I don't know if you're aware of this number, but it's not going to help you buy a new house. I'm just going to throw that out there for you.
I got a bad feeling about this.
$800 a month. $800 a month. That's 17% of the people are paying over $1,000 a month. But $800 a month. Now think about what that does to your ratios if you want to buy a house. And I hear people say, well, I can't afford it. Well, of course you can't. You've got an $800 car payment. Buy something cheaper. Don't get the Tesla. Oh, sorry. We got to have electric cars. Gotta love this. Gotta love what's going on in this world. Maybe you can live off. Well, I understand there's going to be a big sale on Bud Light, probably because nobody's drinking it anymore. So maybe you can drink Bud Light and it'll help you pay for your car payment.
Wait a minute. In Back to the Future, didn't he pour beer into the new thing that made the car run at the very end?
Was it really?
Yeah, at the very end, he just like poured the beer and squished the can. So maybe Bud Light can.
I did hear an interesting story this morning. I'm not a beer drinker. I like wine. But I did hear an interesting story about Bud Light. So here's the fact of Bud Light. It's been apparently, again, I'm not a beer drinker. I gave it up in college. Jack Daniels worked much better. But that's a different story. But I heard that Bud Light has been a bad representation of beer. I don't know. It's colored water, some people are saying. I don't know if that's true or not. But maybe, now what's going to happen is people are all getting off of Bud Light, about 90% drop in their sales. They're realizing that the lever over to the right or left of the Bud Light tap might have something that resembles beer a little bit more. Do you think they're going to go back? Well, maybe as soon as Pee Wee Herman goes back to being Pee Wee. Wait, wasn't Pee Wee Herman in jail?
Yes.
Before he transitioned, wasn't he in jail?
Let's not go there.
Okay, let's not go there.
It's a bad story.
A bad story. Okay. Something about movie theaters.
Yes.
Yes. Uh-oh, we got another one.
I got a bad feeling about
We
this.
are off the rails here this morning. Okay, let's keep on moving right along. Josh is going to tell me I better start talking about what we're supposed to talk about today. So when we come back, think twice before waiting for lower home prices. I don't know if it's going to happen. Is it hard to buy a house with a VA home loan? Continuing our series on VA home loans. And what do you know about short sales? No, it's not for tiny people. My wife's short, so I can say that, right? It's not about that. So we're going to learn and talk a little bit about short sales, and the government owns houses. Are they going to get rid of them? Maybe we'll talk about that as well. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you. But the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
Are you like many of your neighbors trying to figure out how to pay off your debts so you can retire someday? Build bigger savings. Invest in opportunities. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Debt will destroy 50% of Americans from being able to retire earlier and with more. What if you could have a guaranteed program that could show you how to eliminate all of your debt in 10 years or less, all without having to spend more each month than you spend right now? Yes, that's correct. All without spending more from your checkbook each month than you are today. Get your free analysis today to see if you qualify. Visit rsrnodebt.com. Log on today for your free analysis, rsrnodebt.com. No purchase necessary. The free analysis takes only 2 minutes. rsrnodebt.com. Ron Siegel Radio is your home and mortgage connection. Go to rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Homeowners over the age of 62 are taking back financial control after retirement with reverse mortgages, and the Siegel Lending Team is here to help you use it to your advantage. Call Ron Siegel with Geneva Financial to receive your free information booklet with no obligation. The booklet answers all your questions, and the best part is, you still own your home. Call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990 or visit ronsiegelradio.com.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message. And I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. No, Sean is not taking care of wardrobe malfunctions. It's an earpiece malfunction. Just let's not go there. This is a family show. Okay, so let's see. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990. Let's take a look every day at this time. OBMMI, they provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual lock rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. What are the loans locking at on Friday? 30-year conforming loans. Those were up a little bit, 6.399. Jumbo loans, those are down quite a bit, 6.37. FHA loans, I think we're on a roller coaster here. FHA loans were up 6.392. USDA loans, that's out in the rural areas, generally no down payment, 6.45. Those were up a lot. And the best loan on the market for those that earned it, that would be the 30-year VA loan, 6.027. Let's take a look and see what's happening today so we can get more information a little more timely. The 10-year Treasury is up 8 basis points, heading up a little further. And we've got the S&P 500 is now down 9. Mortgage-backed securities are down 33. Ooh, you know what that tells us? That tells us that interest rates are going back up again. Ow! But why? Well, we're going to see what's going on. I told you a little bit. Car payments, according to Kelley Blue Book, the average is now $800, doubled in 3 years. This doesn't consider newer 6-year car loans, which are being used to help reduce the monthly cost. I like new cars a little more often than every 6 years, but that's just me. Credit card rates have risen above 20% from 14% March of last year. Same time, outstanding credit card debt has risen drastically. So think of that. Car loans and credit cards. I guess, you know what that says for housing? Yeah, you're not going to buy a house if you want to spend your money on credit cards and cars. Not a smart move, but it is a decision. Cass Freight Index. Shipments index fell almost 4%, result of soft retail sales trends, ongoing destocking. You know what that means? People are just selling what they own. And a sharp import declines. The They also believe that weak shipping volumes will persist for some time.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
We've been telling you the economy's slowing down. The only one that doesn't realize it is, well, the president, but he doesn't realize anything. You see what he's doing today? Nothing. Now, I don't know about you guys. I can't get away with this. He went on vacation for a week on our dime to Germany, or to was it Ireland?
It was Ireland.
Ireland.
With
It
Hunter.
was Ireland.
And then he came
Then he
back.
said he wasn't going to leave.
We were hoping so. No. Then he came back and went to his beach house in Delaware and came back to the White House. And you know what's on the official calendar for today? Nothing. And he's going to Camp David for the weekend. So I guess he's ready for a little time off. It's a tough life. I wish I could get $400,000 a year for that job. Well, maybe $400,000 plus whatever he gets from Hunter. But we're not talking about that today. That's the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. They're probably not going to be too happy with me either. Oh, well, what the heck. Let's talk to our friends, Sean and Kelly Malone. How are you guys?
Good. How you doing, Ron?
Great. Thank you.
So I went to Paso. You guys came here from Temecula. So which wine do we like best?
Paso.
Okay. I got to go to Napa.
Not so much. Not a Napa fan.
Me neither. Okay. So we'll stick with our friends over. I'm going to actually write a book about our journey to Paso. So we're going to have some fun with that one. But what's happening in real estate?
All good things. We have an upcoming event on April 26th at the Board of Realtors in Murrieta, where we are going to expose the new agents or newer agents that have been in the business less than, I'd say, 15 years to REO, HUD, and short sales. There seems to be a lack of information out there, and because they are such a unique type of transaction, we're providing 3 hours of expertise panelists to answer every question and provide some exposure and information that's going to be very helpful, especially to brand new agents.
So it's for agents only.
Well, anybody that
Industry.
wants to learn. It's the industry. Yes.
Okay.
But our focus was to the newer agents, because as I'm training new agents and they don't understand the acronyms even. What is a HUD home? What does HUD mean? What does REO mean? Short sale. They don't understand what a short sale is. So
It's not for short people.
It's not for short people, and it doesn't mean it's a short transaction. It's exactly the opposite of that.
So it's for tall people and it's a long transaction.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So do you think there's going to be a lot of these properties coming available?
There's more and more. I'm not going to say a lot, because during 2008, 2009, 2010, I'm selling average 300 a year.
Wow.
And so
I guess you got a little experience in it.
A little bit of experience in that. And so no, I'm not saying anything. We're not seeing numbers like that at all. But I am being, twice, 3 times a week contacted to do broker price opinions. So that is an indicator. And also,
so what is a broker price opinion, and who do you do that for?
So asset management companies and banks require a broker price opinion for various reasons. One is the property is in foreclosure. They're trying to get an idea what the value is on the property without having a formal appraisal done. And for a short sale, we're generally a second and third opinion, just to make sure that the agent listing the home is being above board with what they listed the property at. And they're requesting that the bank accept less than what the property is what's owed on the property. So, gets a little bit who decided what that property is worth at that time they listed it.
And trust me, having done a little bit for her, BPOs are not easy. You are constantly at the next phase going, wait, what do I do here? What do I fill out for this? Where do I get that information? So it's stuff that new people, just to add to their book of knowledge, would really, really get good knowledge from.
So we might have jumped the game a little bit here, Kelly. So we're going to have to go back and start with, what is a HUD home?
A HUD home is simply an FHA loan that has gone into foreclosure. So at that point, Housing of Urban Development, a HUD, they take the home. They are the ones responsible for disposing of that non-performing asset. Okay,
so it's basically on the government's books.
Correct.
And the government's really going to try and maximize value?
Well, surprisingly, yes, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe there is some. We finally found the thing the government's doing prudently.
Well, HUD has been around for a long time.
Right.
A long time. So
okay.
In fact, Cheney is the one that made his name from that. He ran that.
It wasn't from shooting his friends or anything
No. He did a great job of organizing and running HUD in the 80s. So
Okay.
HUD's been around, and it is something that the government doesn't want to keep long-term in their books. This is not Blackstone. This isn't about funding something to buy brand new homes or existing homes. It's something, get it in, get it out.
And it's only FHA loans that go there, or
Correct.
does Fannie and Freddie go there too?
No, just
Okay.
FHA, only FHA loans.
Okay, and who gets the VA and the USDAs when those come back?
The VA are the VA.
Oh, okay.
It's the VA.
They keep their own. Okay, okay. I'm just curious as to so will they end up flooding if they have a lot of homes in an area? Will they flood a market, and cause a price reductions, or do they try and let them trickle a little bit?
So so from my experience, and I was a HUD listing broker for years, as they come on, there's nothing that they're holding back per se.
Okay.
It's as they come on, and look, they're priced pretty much comparable to most other homes for sale. They might be a little bit under, but you're looking at a fairly easy transaction. HUD is not going to make any repairs to that property.
Okay.
What you see is what you get. And it's got to be a loanable property. Obviously a FHA loan would be ideal.
Sure.
But yeah, it's there. I don't think there's any concentration on waiting or holding or any of those things. It's get it off the books as soon as possible. They don't drastically reduce. They're not going to hurt the industry by dropping these prices and making matters worse.
So why would I want to buy one? One of the questions that comes to my mind is if I'm not getting the representations of the property and I'm buying it as is,
the disclosures.
So
right now the inventory is low.
Okay.
So one of your choices may only be a HUD home.
Ah, okay.
And because HUD homes are foreclosures that were FHA loans, and in my area, in our Riverside, San Bernardino County, we had a lot of FHA product.
Sure.
So we are going to start seeing more and more of those of the HUD homes coming on. So it may not be a choice that you have. You have 5 homes and one of them is a HUD home.
Ah, do you know? Will a consumer know that going in, or do they just see there's 5 homes?
If the agent educates the consumer, and that's part of why we're putting this event on, we want to make sure the agents are educated as far as what a HUD home is.
Okay.
First of all, and then once you get into escrow, what you can expect for a deposit, for disclosures or the lack of disclosures, what HUD is willing to do or what they have done to take care of the property, just health and safety issues. But again, what you see is what you get. So it's really a buyer beware product.
Okay.
At the end of the day.
Can I send in a home inspector before we consummate a transaction?
Yes, you can. And
Okay.
then the agent would coordinate with HUD to have the utilities turned on for that event. Yes.
Okay, but they're not doing that ahead of time.
Well, they do it once the offer is accepted.
Okay, once it's so that just gives you an opportunity then if it's not what you want, being that there's no disclosures.
Correct.
Or minimal disclosures.
Minimal, yes. Since HUD has never lived in the home, you're not going to get any disclosures
Sure.
as far as what they know is wrong with the property. They do an inspection of their own, basically to determine any health and safety type of issues that they would take care of.
Which basically has to be for any kind of an FHA loan product.
Correct.
Right? They're not going to allow somebody to go in and buy a property that's got peeling paint. It's one of the big ones, right? So
yeah.
can't do that.
Peeling paint. Oh,
So-
yeah, we have a story about that.
Oh, my.
But also, with HUD, there's a bidding date.
Okay.
So, it's given to the agent. It's 2 weeks ahead of time typically, and then there's a bid date. And so through an agent, you would make a bid online, and by that date, by the next day, generally, if your offer was accepted.
That quick.
Yeah, unless they were not happy with any of the offers, and then it goes to a daily bid. Every 24 hours, they're opening new offers.
Interesting. So you got to know what you're doing.
Kind of, yes.
Surprise, surprise. That's a new thought in this world. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. More with Kelly and Sean Malone when we come back. Think twice before waiting for lower home prices. Is it hard to buy a house with a VA home loan? All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
March Madness might be over, but the game is still on for home buyers. Don't let misrepresentation of home appreciation outlook get you down. The FHFA says that despite the Fed doubling interest rates, home prices are just down less than 1% from their peak last June. What are you waiting for? It's time to shoot your shot and start your home buying journey with RSRmoney.com. They will guide you through every step, making the process as smooth as a three-pointer. Visit RSRmoney.com now and make your dream home a reality.
Are you a renter and tired of making monthly payments? Paying off someone else's mortgage? Hey, it's Ron Siegel here to help you stop renting and start owning your dream home with amazing low interest rates. And you could potentially qualify for a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket. So stop renting. Start owning with Ron Siegel. Learn more at ronsiegelradio.com and start owning today. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Visit rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Great tool if you're thinking about buying a house, if you own a house, if you want to own a house, if you know someone that wants to own a house, anybody, because it's going to give you monitoring of your credit. It's going to give you banks budgeting. Let you follow your assets. If you are thinking about buying a house, 97% of those homes available for sale are there. And if you already own a house, you can put your address in. And if you register, you can get a monthly email telling you 4 different values from 4 different sources. You get 3 good ones plus Zillow. And you can find out what the value of your house is. Going backwards, it's only a backward-looking tool. If you want forward-looking pricing, got to talk to a real estate professional for that part of it. But let's take a look and see what we're talking about today. Think twice before waiting for lower home prices as the housing market continues to change. You may be wondering where it'll go from here. One factor you're probably thinking about is home prices, which have come down a bit since they peaked last June. And you've likely heard something in the news or on social media about a price crash on the horizon. As a result, you may be holding off on buying a house until prices drop significantly, but that's not the best strategy. A recent survey from Zonda shows 53% of millennials are still renting right now because they're waiting for home prices to come down. Are your rent prices coming down? But here's the thing. The most recent data shows that home prices appear to have bottomed out last year and are now on the rise again. Selma Hepp, chief economist at CoreLogic, reports, quote, U.S. home prices rose by 0.8% in February, indicating that prices in most markets have already bottomed out, unquote. National number. We'll talk local in a minute. And the latest data from Black Knight shows the same shift. The graph that we are going to show you in just a minute shows home prices are up in a majority of the country. Let's see. November 2022, home prices declined. That's the big red area on the graph. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 video feed. February 2023, the colors seem to have changed, and it's not even Christmas if you're watching this. So should you keep waiting to buy a home until prices come down if you factor in what the experts are saying? No. The data shows prices are increasing in much of the country, not decreasing. And the latest data from the Home Price Expectation Survey indicates that experts project home prices will rise steadily and return to more normal levels of appreciation after 2023. The best way to understand what home values are doing in your area, as always, work with a local real estate professional who can give you the insights and expert advice. Bottom line, if you're waiting to buy a home until prices come down, you may want to reconsider. Let's chat. And again, those are national numbers. We always talk national, but unless you're buying a national house, and I don't know how you do that, right? The bottom line here is you got to talk to a professional. You can also visit if you want to know what's going on in your neighborhood, because this comes out every single Monday. Go to rsrlistana.com, rsrlistana.com. I know it says ANA, but you can get any zip code in the country once you put your data, your personal information in there. Being that we've got Kelly and Sean Malone with us here today, I just threw in there Temecula, California. And it looks like it's heating up out there. Not just the weather. Is it true, or you guys are on the street? I'm just looking at stats.
Both.
Okay.
Okay,
now we got an attorney here.
Well,
Attorney Kelly.
For our escrows, we've gone up almost triple. I mean, we just hired a new lady.
Are you talking about the number of escrows or the values?
Escrows, number of escrows.
Quantity of escrows
Quantities went
through
up like
Celebration
3 times
Escrow,
as
our
much.
escrow company. Our agents have, the productivity has picked up a lot, but the number that's important there that you're looking at on the Altos report is the amount of properties that are relisted. See that 5%?
5%.
Yeah.
If you're an agent and you worked expired listings in the past, you're done.
You're out of business.
Dried up.
You're out of business.
Yeah, with 500 other agents.
So what we are saying is there's an equilibrium that has been struck. The listings coming on are generally from the people who have to sell. The
60s.
They have to sell because of divorce, death, distress, debt, diamonds,
5Ds.
diapers, dementia.
60s.
Okay, the D's are bad.
I have 6 of them, is what I said.
So the people,
Diplomas, diamonds,
because why
diapers.
would you exactly? So you're going to sell soon. So why would you go from a 2.75 interest rate to a 6.5% interest rate, right?
Sure.
Unless you have to.
Catalyst.
So the people right now that are what we're seeing, those numbers of the properties of going into escrow are the people that are actually having to sell right now because they not because they want to pay an additional this crazy interest rate and move, but it's because they're forced to. So
Wait, Kelly, you've been around long enough. I don't want to put it that way. I don't want to get smacked here, but crazy interest rates. You've seen these interest rates before.
Yeah, I've seen. I bought my first house at 10.5, but okay,
13.
relative.
18. I'm the winner.
Okay,
1983, 84.
Okay, yeah,
60%?
in
I was at 13,
87. But it's a little different when the house cost is $50,000.
Yeah,
It's all
200,000.
relative.
Right.
It's relative.
We might have been making a little less.
People
then,
forget
too.
that part. It's all relative
Right.
part. Yeah. So there's just enough buyers who have, probably lost out on offers previously, got tired of bidding wars and such. There's just enough buyers out there to suck up the little inventory that there is on a consistent basis. So the inventory is not like drastically going up. It's ticking right around the last 2
Look at
months.
the bright side, Kelly. So I'm looking here, Temecula, 108 single-family homes for sale
In all of Temecula.
in all of Temecula.
All of
Now
Temecula.
look at 92807,
Okay, what about
17.
Oh, wow.
92807? Yeah.
Yeah.
17
Well,
homes.
Ron,
Down from 21, so we're down 20%.
I was showing property in Pacific Beach, Mission Beach, and what's right there? It was several weeks ago. And I literally had to check myself. I had my assistant sitting next to me and I said, wait, is this right? I didn't put any data in other than what's active for sale in Pacific Beach. There were 4 homes in all of Pacific Beach active for sale. In Mission Beach, there was 1.
Holy cow.
And in Point Loma, there were 0 active listings on the market. This was about 7 weeks ago.
7 weeks ago.
I was on the MLS and I asked my assistant, look at this. Something's wrong. I did something wrong. I must be going crazy.
Yeah.
And she checked it and she goes, No, I mean, if they want to live in Chula Vista, sure. There's
Yeah,
there's
that's
60
beautiful
hotels
downtown
out,
Chula
right.
Vista.
And this is
But
all of that stuff.
In these 3 areas, I put no cap for a price. I put no minimum square footage, nothing. There was nothing.
Nothing to
It's
buy.
the
it
first
goes
time in
back
my
to-
entire 26-year real estate career
So,
ever.
6
Wow.
months prior when they took that, it expired, it didn't relist. So it's this cascading effect where inventory is really low. Something comes on the market, or they decide, well, maybe it was just rent. We could probably make more than what our mortgage payment is and just rent it. So it never comes on the market.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of mitigating factors that are happening. We happen to be high, but we have a lot of agents as well, just south Fallbrook Vista, all the way north, right to Corona. We have a lot of agents that are trying to sell in that saturated type of an area. So 180 it should have been 600, 700. So
That's an interesting concept because I just had that call over the weekend. Exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
So they actually have all of them. So they just had graduated, got married, had a baby, bought a new build, and sent me a note saying, Ron, my house is appreciated a lot. Is there a way that I could just take some equity out, rent my house, and buy a new house?
Yes.
Right. So, and that's a negative one.
Right.
Right. One house going off the market
Right.
with nothing new coming on. It
Right.
used to be you sell one to buy one.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct.
Right. So,
And we are taking on right now, averaging about 3 to 4 new rentals every few weeks that we're managing, because we have
Okay.
a property management division as well.
And all of those new builds, by the tens of thousands that are out there that have stalled, that are slowly not coming on the market. So that just leaves existing for your local market. It's getting tough, but this is precisely why, because Kelly really does a fantastic job for her weekly and her monthly meetings with her agents and her brokers, the people that work directly for her, sharing, look, this is what's coming. This is some of the experience that she's doing at Sarkar, is to let other agents know.
what's
look,
a Sarkar?
SRCAR. Right?
He calls it Sarkar. It's
Oh.
not our board of realtors.
Oh, Board of Realtors. Okay.
It's just the acronym. I just call it Sarkar. Anyways,
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of folks
Look-
listening, Sean. They want to know what you're talking about too.
Sarkar.
she just gave it.
Okay.
So agents have to come in, because if
I'm a
that
simple guy.
if that existing market that you have is diminished, if you don't have a lot that's coming on, then you probably are, if you're doing the best job for your customer, you probably are going to have some HUD, some short sales, some foreclosure, something that is a part of that mix of this is all I've got for my customer. So if you're going to say, oh, I don't know how to do HUD, I don't know how to do short sale, you just limited what your customer has the opportunity to buy. She's doing a fantastic job trying to train people. Look, you're going to have to learn these other things to bring it in.
Or worse, they get into escrow on a property and they don't have any clue as to how that transaction is supposed to go.
They can't
didn't-
protect the
They didn't
customer.
educate their buyer
Yeah.
as to the expectations, whether it's a short sale, which there's, so many moving parts of
Sure.
the short sale. I mean, that's just,
Are those easier now than they were back in 2010? Now that
No.
there's
no,
No.
we
No
just
difference.
closed one. No, I mean, I would say it took 3 months, not 6.
okay,
This is good.
a little better, unless you're wanting to move pretty quick. Got a baby coming
but
in,
when you're
it's-
timing that, the interest rate, it's like,
Yeah,
how do you lock that?
How do you lock
can't.
that right in?
that becomes pretty challenging, doesn't it?
Yes.
So when we come back, I want to chat with you a little bit about maybe we can find a way to help people find that new house. Are there the new houses available? And maybe we can learn something from this report that you were just talking about. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. Also, VA, is it hard to buy a house with a VA home loan? It's the best loan on the market. Why would you think that? All that and more. Reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Borrow Smart segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Is it hard to buy a house with a VA home loan? Debunking the myths and clarifying the process is what we're talking about. Are you a veteran or active military member struggling with the idea of home ownership? Don't be. You might have heard that buying a house with a VA home loan is difficult, but we're here to set the record straight. Number one, understanding VA home loan benefits. The VA Home Loan Program, backed by the Department of Veterans Affairs, aims to help eligible veterans, active duty military, and some surviving spouses secure affordable financing for a home purchase by guaranteeing a portion of the loan. The VA helps borrowers obtain favorable terms, including competitive interest rates, no down payment requirement, no private mortgage insurance. In addition, VA loans typically have more lenient credit and income requirements, making it easier for eligible borrowers to qualify. The VA Home Loan Program is designed to support our nation's heroes in their quest for home ownership, so it's crucial to understand and take advantage of the benefits. Number two, dispelling VA home loan myths, easy for me to say. There's a common misconception that the VA home loan process is more difficult and time-consuming than conventional loans. However, not true. The VA has worked to streamline the process in recent years, and many lenders have followed suit. As a result, VA loans can close just as quickly, if not faster, than traditional loans. It's important to work with an experienced VA lender like our team here at Geneva Financial to ensure a smooth and efficient experience. Another myth is that the VA loan limit caps the amount you can borrow. This is only partially true. While there are loan limits for VA loans, they're only applied to borrowers who have more than one active loan, defaulted on a previous VA loan, or gone over some lending limits. For most eligible borrowers, there's no maximum loan amount, allowing for greater flexibility in home price ranges. Number three, preparing for the VA home loan process. While the VA home loan process is not inherently more difficult than other loan types, preparation is key to ensuring a smooth transaction. Here are some steps to follow. Number one, get the golden ticket, also known as the Certificate of Eligibility. This document proves you meet the VA's eligibility requirements based on your service history or that of your spouse. We can get that for you. Number two, get pre-approved and pre-underwritten all the way through underwrite. Before you start house hunting, work with a VA lender to get pre-approved and pre-underwritten. This will help you understand your budget and show sellers that you are a serious buyer and potentially speed up the closing process. Number three, find a real estate agent familiar with VA loans. Working with an agent who understands the VA home loan process can make a significant difference in your home buying experience. Number four, stay within your budget. Remember, just because you can buy a higher priced house, maybe you shouldn't. Stay within your budget to ensure your new home is a financial asset, not a burden. Bottom line, don't let misconceptions about the VA home loan process hold you back from achieving your dream of home ownership. Start your journey with confidence by contacting our team, ronsiegelradio.com, and go and get registered on rsrmoney.com to get expert advice and guidance from a knowledgeable VA lender. That is the Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Continue our conversation. We are chatting this morning with Sean and Kelly Malone, chatting about maybe some maybe experience will help you find a house that may not otherwise have been available. So I want to throw this because we've talked about this a little bit in the last segment about 5% of the houses being relisted and expired properties. When you're dealing with properties that maybe they've expired, and right now, Kelly, you made a great point before that people are only doing transactions because of some sort of a catalyst.
Yes.
Right. I use the 6 Ds, right? Mm-hmm. So diplomas, diamonds, diapers, death, divorce, default, kind of fits most of them.
Debt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Debt. So those people that might have listed their house for that purpose and it expired, that purpose didn't go away.
Right.
Right. They still, hopefully they still just got married. Right. Unless they went to one of the other Ds, which is called divorce. But the bottom line is if that person default or didn't sell, are agents allowed to go, or is there a process for them to go and look and say, 123 Main Street expired a month ago, and I've got a buyer that might fit. Can you call them?
Yes.
Of course.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
absolutely.
so it's not against the rules for that.
It's absolutely okay to make contact with an expired listing. Yes.
Do agents understand that, or is that do they come into the business knowing that, or is it something that has to be taught?
It's something that has to be taught. Yeah.
So it goes back to the same thing that, unfortunately, the barrier to entry in real estate is so low.
Yes.
That you have to have a good mentor, and you're talking about that,
yes.
having all the trainings that you're doing.
The training, yes, and it's important to understand if you want to. You work at a brokerage, so you have people that can teach you how to work at expired listings, because there is a process, and working around the do not call list, that's really important. But there's the thing is,
do people really pay attention to that thing?
More and more, yes, more and more. The threat is there more and more. But if we're talking about 2 years ago, the properties that relisted on the market, and you have like 80% of the properties relisted if they actually didn't sell. Right.
Okay.
And so if they didn't sell, they would go back on either with the same agent or with another agent. And, the difference, maybe the 20% difference, they would decide they're either going to keep their house, not move at the time, or they're going to rent it out. So now that 5%, only 5% of the properties on the market decide they're going to relist. That's a significant number. So that is telling you that people, if they have to sell, they're going to sell. If they don't, they are choosing typically to rent their house out, to lease it out. And we are experiencing that with our property management business.
So it's not that they're just taking it off the market and doing nothing.
Right.
They're taking it off the market and they're going to rent it, or they found some other solution, or they're going to stay.
Yes.
Yeah. We talked about this a couple times back. What is your purpose? So when you're talking with your customer, what's your plan? Are you going to put your kids here in the local school? Are you going to be here for 10 years? So then there's no FOMO. You don't have to worry about that, because you're not going to miss out. You're probably going to get the best possible deal, whatever time that is, at the best possible rate, whatever time that is, because you're going to stay. If you were a part of, I'm going to flip it, I'm going to just change out the kitchen and blah, 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 I'm going to make 10,000. No, that cream is gone. So when we're talking about the death, the diapers, that type of thing, now it was always there.
Sure.
It just wasn't at the
wasn't
height,
the only
right?
thing that was there.
So there was 500 homes, and then the expires just were relisted. I didn't get what I wanted, and my buddy across the street, in that time frame that you didn't sell my house, sold it for 40,000. I want 50,000 more. That's over.
Okay.
So the reality of what was really the real estate market that's always been there is consistent.
But also the houses that are on the market, they're selling. There's enough buyers sucking up the listing inventory over time, because where we're looking at 90 days on the market, average days on market 95. So it's just enough, right?
Sure.
And every single month it's hovering in our zip code 92592. 67 to 71 inventory, 66, 65, 72, month after month after month. So it's not
when
going
the
up
days
to
are staying
100.
the same and the number of properties are staying the same. That means something's selling.
Exactly. So last year in August, when there was 224 homes for sale in 92592 zip code, you had the market times, everything changed. Inventory was there. The prices were dropping. People were competitive with one another. Now you have a smaller inventory. They're not dropping the prices too much. 30 some percent, I think we're dropping the prices. So overall, not significant, because they're selling.
Sure.
Right. So there's not even necessarily a need to relist at that point. So there's just there are a lot of factors, a lot of things taking place.
Well, some of the numbers you look at it, and I know just by looking at numbers, and I'm not a real estate agent. I have a license. I'm not qualified. I'm qualified to have a license, but just not to use it. But you look at certain properties and you say, okay, in 92807, which I look at a lot, average days on the market is 103, and there's 17 properties. So for somebody like me that's just a numbers guy, it says maybe those are properties that people don't want to sell, right? Because it never goes below 17. It'll go up to 21, but you look at how many days it's on the market. Maybe those people just didn't want to sell anything.
No, it's really that is the equilibrium I'm talking about.
Okay.
There's just enough buyers sucking up just enough inventory on a continuum. So I have buyers right now, and we are shopping in Rancho Cucamonga, Laverne,
Chino.
Montclair, Chino, and we go see a property, it's gone the next day. We go see a property, it's gone the next day. And, but they're out there and they're shopping. They have a credit union and they've got like a 6% interest rate. And I mean,
they're qualified.
Their payment's going to be fat, but they don't want to.
We don't talk about fat on this show, Kelly. I mean, come on.
Sorry, back to short sale.
They don't want to rent anymore because their rent is practically what their payment is at this point.
Right.
So we're out shopping on a daily, and it's not like how we can sit and look at a house and it's been on the market 100+ days. It's on the market 18, maybe 30 days at the most that before it goes into escrow. So yeah, it's a we're in an equilibrium. I'm just going to say that we have just enough buyers.
So is that what we would call a normal market then? It's not a buyer's market, not a seller's market, being that
all the analytics are going to say it's a seller's market because the prices are not coming down. The prices are stabilizing. They're going up. So they're going to say it's a seller's market because there's still equity, right? We're not on a downward spiral or crash like everybody was anticipating.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would say
there's also the buyer's side of it, that all the cash, the people that are buying cash and they're not going through a mortgage lender, right? So there's the buyers. The buyer has the power as well.
Yeah, there are buyers that are sitting on cash that were rented for a year or two, and they sat on their cash and waited. And so now now they can buy. They're buying with, I don't know that that benefited them anyway because the prices didn't fall.
We told it's almost a year to the date now because we're in April. We told people a year ago, you should probably sell your place and rent, pay of all this equity and this cash that you got, pay rent for a year and buy. And they're coming back. They're coming back because they sat in the cash. They got the cash and the things went down. So
I'll throw a couple of things out there from our friends at
not in PB, and not in where's your dad live, Aliso either.
Oh yeah. Aliso got crushed.
So I'm gonna throw a couple things out there just to, if I can figure out how to get these noises to stop in my head.
They're not just in your head. I'm hearing them too.
You're hearing them too? Okay, so.
And there's some lady yelling earlier. What's going on?
And Jack Nicholson is not here, so just throw that out there. So let me throw you a couple things I want to share with you based on trying to solve problems, right? So a couple of things that Kelly laid out here is you gotta be aggressive in buying the property, right? Because they're selling. If you look at it today and it's gone tomorrow, how do you get an advantage? So what are a couple of advantages that you can get just by listening to Ron Siegel Radio? Number one, maybe you want to bid more than the property value, right? That's an opportunity. Now, I'm not going to, I can tell you how long it'll come based on analytics, how long it'll take you to get back to the right values, but maybe you just want to live there. And Sean talked earlier about this concept that what's your plan? So if you pay $25,000, $50,000, $75,000 above value today, no guarantees, but 10 years from now, you're going to be happy that you did that. That's the first part of it. Now you say, okay, Ron, well, but these interest rates, well, they're going to start coming down if history repeats itself, which it usually does. They're going to start coming down on the 10th of May. Okay. By the end of summer, my forecast, we're going to be somewhere in the mid 5s. But what if you want that now? Maybe you want to be in the 4s today. Well, we've got a solution for that. We've got our payment assistance program, which helps you pay more than the list price. And then, oh yeah, if it doesn't appraise, we've got an appraisal gap to cover that problem too. So pay above value so you get the house you want with a payment that's based on yesterday's interest rates. What do you think? All you have to do is call us at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The other thing I'm going to share with you, very, very important. You have to work with a real estate professional that understands these processes. If they are not done the right way, they will blow up.
Yeah.
Promise you. So there are tricks and not tricks, strategies, I guess is the best term, that professional and experienced agents understand and use that maybe your best friend's dog walker's uncle's cousin who did one transaction in 2001 doesn't know how to do. Just throwing that out there. If you want to meet those people, if you want to meet Sean and Kelly Malone, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And as always, I ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items that affect your roof over your head and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to Josh and Sean for engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.